Okay guys, here's how we make a creme brulee. It's the classic French dessert made with a baked egg custard and caramelised sugar on top. It's got 4 eggs, 40 grams of sugar, 250 ml of cream, a vanilla pod or vanilla essence, and a little bit of extra sugar for later on for glazing. Just saw one shot there where we put the cream on to scald with the vanilla pod, and we split the eggs into egg yolks and egg whites. Here we have the bain-marie set up. It's a little dish with a little bit of cloth on the bottom and a couple of ramekins, and we've got a piece of foil ready for baking on top. We then take the sugar and the egg yolks and mix them together. Not too much, otherwise we're going to have a small problem that we're going to get a lot of froth on top. Then we add the cream and lightly temper the mix. You'll notice here that we're just giving it a light stir and then adding on the remainder of the cream. In this case here we didn't use the vanilla pulp, we just used some vanilla essence. That's fine. You could flavour it with anything. You could put maybe some lemongrass in there and do something kind of Asian, or maybe you could put some instant coffee and go for sort of a coffee flavoured brulee. So the process always remains the same. Doesn't matter really what it is, as long as you follow this process. Okay, so we've got a jug ready with a sieve, and we just pass the mix through it. That's just to remove any bits of egg white that might be there, or say you've got a vanilla pod in there, or some spices if you're infusing it with some spices, and just passing that through. The jug's good, it just makes it a bit easier to pour into the ramekins. So here we go, the ramekins are ready now, and we're just filling them pretty much as full as we can. You want to go a little bit over that lip on the ramekin, otherwise it tends to burn a little bit later on when you go to glaze them. There we are, filling it up. Once they're filled, we can take them over towards the oven, and it's quite good to fill them in the oven. Just means you don't have all that water flopping around everywhere and splashing. You want to fill them about, say, 2/3 or halfway to 2/3, and bake them at about 130 until set. It's going to take about 30 or 45 minutes, somewhere between that. Just depends on how hot the mix is and how hot the water is. In the shot here you can sort of see that we're giving them a little wobble, and they're not quite set. The front one's almost set, but the back one it's just starting. Here they go. Once these ones here have been in about 35 minutes, and they've just set nicely now. And after that we need to put them in the fridge for a couple of hours really, just so that they firm up. After they've firmed up, it's time to glaze them with some caster sugar. So I've given a good even white coating on there, and just using a gas torch here, I'm just going to lightly caramelise the top. You'll notice that I kind of rotate it a little bit, and just help make that caramel run all over that top, nice and even. If you don't have a gas torch, which I guess most people at home don't, what you can do is turn on the grill underneath your oven and use that. It's not quite as good as the gas torch, but it does work. And in the old days we used to use brown sugar or demi-ware sugar instead of caster sugar. It sort of colour up a little bit quicker, and you get quite a good result as well. So just pointing out there to the students, be careful that sugar doesn't run down your arms. That does happen. So there we go. It needs to probably wait for about 2 minutes or 3 minutes for that caramel just to set up before we actually crack into it and serve it. So just repeating the process again. Notice how I wipe the rim each time so that none of the sugar sticks to the rim and caramelises. You just get a bit of a cleaner result there. And again, just using that torch, caramelising it, giving it a rotate so that the sugar runs all over, so it's nice and even. There we go. It's important that you get the sugar reasonably dark. It just sort of helps offset the richness of the actual custard. So it's a real simple dessert. It's just a custard really and a caramel top, but it's the combination of the textures and the bitterness and the sweet smoothness of the custard that works so well. There you go. Next clip here, we're just going to break into the caramel, so you can actually see we tap and break into it, lift out some of that custard which is just set. You want to make sure that there's no bubbles around the side of the brulee. It's a sign that it might have got a wee bit hot in the oven. It'll still taste alright, but the texture will just be maybe a little bit grainy. I hope that helps you out.